everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about having a Japanese wedding in Tokyo. Now, I don't know if you know this, but me and Ms. Akina got married earlier this year in America. How was that, Akina?
We had a wedding in Boston, which I would say that was really cute, classical, and we also had pre-wedding pictures in kimono in Yokohama as well. That was really fun too.
Yeah, that was amazing, but the thing is there are some family and friends that live in Japan that were unable to attend just because of the distance and things like that. So we were thinking of having a wedding in Japan just to make it easier for them to attend, and also because there's different styles of wedding in Japan, right?
Yeah, we can have a wedding in kimono and shrine or something, and we thought that would be interesting experience for like going through two cultures. So we visited one place called Hotel Gajoen Tokyo. And what did you think?
That was really awesome. I was very impressed. You said it was a well-known place, right? I had never heard of it.
So we are really psyched to be able to show this really gorgeous venue, because this might be the dream wedding venue for some of you.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're gonna start from shrine, which is equivalent of altar in Western way of wedding.
Yep.
Where you have ceremony. So which is important, you know?
Yeah, so the shrine room is one of the biggest aspects, right? And we were checking it out. That room was really nice, right, Akina?
Yeah, they had two rooms. One was a bit more like down to earth kind of feeling, and the second one, which really loved, was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was very grand. Like, I was surprised at how really well done it was, and there was so much artwork and stuff in there. I loved it.
Yeah, that was very beautiful room with the vivid colors, which I really liked.
Yeah, now I thought it looked really great, but like, how legit is it? Because a lot of people have their weddings at real shrines. So was this looked like a real shrine or what?
It did look like a real shrine. I don't know how I can tell that, but maybe just my Japanese blood. So I guess that was because of the material they used, which was wood, which is what we use for shrines. So that's probably why it's not like plastic or anything. So that felt like really real, you know?
Yeah, and the room itself seemed pretty minimalistic. I mean, there's a lot of art on the walls, but the actual way the room was set up and the color schemes and stuff just kind of looked to me, in general, like it looked like a shrine. But the art on the walls was really amazing. It was like these hand-carved pieces of wood, which basically were painted over, and like, I guess each of them had their own sort of symbolic meaning. Like there was the crane, which was supposed to be like a husband protecting its family. And then there was some tree artwork as well, which was really nice.
That was representative of the bride being feminine and kind. I guess this concept is kind of getting kind of old time thing these days for modern people like us. But this place started as a restaurant 90 years ago, so that's why the concept is like really traditional. But they are trying to put some message for your happy marriage, your bright future. So I like the good messages just surrounding you everywhere.
Yeah, it was just a positive energy in there and really beautiful colors, and it seemed like that would be a great place to have a wedding. And plus they mentioned that they have live music played there, which is called gagaku.
Yeah, that's like a Shintoism music. It's, if you think about like a gospel from church, maybe that's like that, but it's more like quiet and calm.
And they had different areas designated like for the family members to sit. And there's also a side room right toward the back, right? Which is like, what is that for, Akina?
There's a room connecting to like a waiting room to the actual shrine. But the room's concept is that you have last moment to make yourself calm for the divine ceremony. And
yeah,
that
just calm down, right?
Yeah, calm down. Just to have the last second of the very emotional moment before you see the god. So for mother of the bride, if you want, you can have her to retouch your lipstick before the ceremony, which is kind of our way of veil down.
Okay.
So that's, you know, if you imagine having this moment in this beautiful room, that's very touching, right? Also, there's a big wooden artwork of deers in the connecting room, and that is from one piece of wood and
a massive piece of one chunk of wood and create that really nice deer artwork.
So if you're having a wedding, then dresses are very, 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 very important for girls. And if you're gonna have kimono style wedding, then guys get to wear samurai style kimono too, right?
Yeah, well, basically the gear is part of the whole thing, right? You're gonna have a Japanese style wedding, you gotta have some Japanese style clothing, and it's really awesome, the huge selection that they had available. So there's the shiro muku, which is like the kind of that you wear during the ceremony, right?
Yeah, I am actually not really as expert of this category, but as far as I see, people tend to wear a white kimono with a kind of hat.
Yeah, it looks like a big marshmallow to me, but I guess it's part of the culture. Anyway, basically that part, they actually have 50 different kinds there, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
like,
it's like really, details are very different, like how textiles are made, or maybe like a slight pink on the top or bottom.
Right.
Maybe like red line somewhere like underneath kind of thing. So that kind of changes the atmosphere of the kimono quite a lot.
Although in general they're all pretty much white, so the real one that you tried on was a different category, right, Akina? Is that after the ceremony?
Yeah, that is typically for the reception. If you're changing dresses or kimonos, it's just as changing dresses for the wedding in the Western world too.
Yeah.
So that is tend to be for the reception.
Yeah, it's more colorful, and I guess there's even 2 categories of that, right?
Yeah, we have uchikake and we also have hiki furisode. And the first one was the one I tried.
Yeah, that's the more colorful style. So you tried it on, and how was the try-on process, Akina? They had tons of different kinds there, right?
They say they have 50 of shiromuku, the white one, and more than 100 of the uchikake, which I tried. So they have lots of selection, and they also mentioned that they can accommodate lots of various range of budget.
Yeah, they have more affordable ones, and they also have some really expensive ones, but quite grand ones. Now, I don't know much about the whole kimono thing, but I saw the try-on process. Like, I guess normally when you put on the kimono, it really takes a lot of time to really put it on properly. But they have a way to put it on more quickly, which Akina got done, and it was nice to just kind of watch them doing that. But how did you think, even though it wasn't on fully properly, how did you think it looked, Akina?
I really, really liked the quality of the kimono I tried. I could see the kimono was really high quality, and I was imagining how the kimono would look like in the shrine we just saw, and like I was so like excited to imagine the white kimono on a red carpet. That would be a nice contrast, right? So let's talk about the reception room.
Yeah, so just the lead up to the reception room itself was a massive tatami room which you had to take your shoes off for. And I was just kind of really amazed because usually I think of places in Tokyo as not having a lot of space. But here the place seemed like really huge. And the tatami room was like really nice. The tatami looked very well maintained.
Yeah, that tatami still had very fresh tatami smell to it. And if you don't change it enough, then the tatami would lose the smell, so that tatami must be new enough.
Well, basically, I was just amazed at how the room was set up. Like, there was art pretty much everywhere. It was very nice. Like, there were these massive poles that were carved wood. And I thought it was just really awesome. And that was the lead up to go. When we actually walked into the reception room, what did you think about that, Akina?
That room was very nice. It's so Japanesey and it's so gorgeous, like really, gold and strong colors. But at the same time, that room felt somehow cozy.
Cozy, kind of minimalistic. But even then, like, there's a theme that I saw throughout the whole place, which is they often have artwork even on the ceiling. So I'm not really used to looking at art on the ceiling. But basically, the room was really awesome. We didn't have it decked out because they were just showing us, so we didn't get to see, like, what it looks like with flowers and stuff, but we saw from the brochure that it looks very, very nice, and I think it'd be really awesome to have a dinner there. They also said that they have
vegetarian meals available, and
Yeah.
they can also have like English speaking staff too. So if you're thinking of doing a wedding here as a non-Japanese speakers, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and the cherry on top was that bathroom even looked traditional to me. So, yeah, I was liking that place a lot.
Actually, the room just before the tatami room is one of the most well-known part of the venue, which is just fully covered by artworks.
Yeah.
And they are doing photo shoot there too on the day, but the staff timed it so well.
Yeah, our staff maestro kind of made it seem so seamless, like he just casually walked in, like as if we weren't even in a rush or anything. But as soon as we got in there, they started doing a photo shoot right after the part we walked into. So it seemed like he just kind of timed everything perfectly while barely making any effort.
Yeah, I was really amazed. Like, if you know that you're in a good hand, the wedding day is gonna be really easy, and the planning is also really easy. So I thought that was very good about the venue too.
Yeah, it kind of felt like I was sightseeing when I was in that place because there's so much stuff to look at there. Like, it was really just non-stop entertainment.
Yeah, I felt like it was like a Japanland of a theme park or something.
It was kind of like going to Epcot with having a Japan land, but it was like not tacky at all or anything. It was very nice. Like, the building is quite modern, but they seem to integrate all these little artworks, these like very old artworks, just in a seamless way that it's not that noticeable, but you get an overall very good feeling from entering these rooms.
Yeah, the thing I liked about this venue was also this venue is very grand, very beautiful, and has a history and well known and prestigious, but things are very comfortable and the staff is very friendly as well, not posh or anything at all.
Yeah, they didn't have any attitude, which sometimes I'm used to seeing in the West. But these people, they were just very friendly, very nice. You felt very welcomed, like I didn't feel rushed or anything like that. Now, as far as the food in the place, we saw from the brochure that they seem to have really amazing food options here. And in general in Japan, I'm never really disappointed with the food here. Like, people have a very high standard of food in Japan, so you can always get a lot for what you pay for. They did give us a sample of the food, which was some small piece of meat, which was delicious. Like, that was really awesome, but I could tell, or we could tell just by looking at that brochure, that they had some nice food, right, Akina?
Yeah, the presentation looks really nice too, so you would be able to impress the guests a lot.
Big time. So, what would be your overall takeaway of the place, Akina?
I really like the fact that they have lots of artworks and very old things every corner.
Yeah, the architecture itself was really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can find a treasure in somewhere you didn't expect. Like, oh, that looks nice, and that looks nice, and you can feel like excited all the time.
Yeah, they even said that one of the movies from Ghibli might have been inspired by one of the parts of the building, right?
Yeah, if you know the movie called Spirited Away, one of the part was inspired by this castle-looking like part of the building.
Yeah, so that was awesome to hear, and just in general, the staff, as we mentioned, were really friendly. The place is quite impressive.
And this place is supposed to be battery-free, so Dustin didn't even have to duck for once.
Yeah, I think usually when I go to old places in Japan, I always have to look out for my head pretty much all the time. Like, I don't feel like I'm that tall, but I guess a lot of the doors are just a little lower, and there's things hanging down sometimes. But here, I didn't feel like I had to duck, bob, or weave. And also, I didn't have to look too far, like, as far as my legs were concerned. There's nothing to trip over, which it seemed like sometimes when you go to some places, like temples in Japan, there's like, kind of like a part you step up, step down. So it was very nice that I didn't have to worry about where I was walking for once. And yeah, the fact that they have English-speaking staff is really nice if we have some people coming over from America. So I think that was really awesome, right?
And that place is very accessible, you know, and it's centrally located in Tokyo, and it's very close to the station of Meguro Station.
Yeah.
It's only like 2-3 minutes, but they also have a shuttle bus.
Yeah, I guess you can walk it, although the weather was kind of bad that day, so we took the bus to go there.
So this place is actually called Hotel Gajoen Tokyo, but it's actually specialized in wedding. They started as a restaurant, then they went to a wedding venue, like a whole integrated wedding place.
Then they went to a hotel place, right?
So they are very specialized in weddings, so everything is really nicely located and conveniently located for those with having a wedding. So everything is like really easy accessible.
The other aspect of this place is that you get the impression they're really organized. So as we mentioned before, they seamlessly guided us through the building without any real problems. And actually they were able to create a price quote about our wedding pretty much on the spot. Like, we just gave the specifications, how many guests we thought we would want, if we were going to rent a dress or not, and various other aspects of the wedding, and they were just able to create the quote right there.
Yeah, and the thing is that this is a wedding venue rather than a hotel or like anything. So you can order everything through the place, and if you go to the place, then you don't have to contact to your like
vendors.
Yeah, vendors.
Yeah.
And it comes with the bridal planner. So I thought that price quote was a very cost effective.
Yeah, the price seemed very reasonable. We were comparing it to the price we had in America for our wedding. And basically, as you mentioned, yeah, all the things were just there. The flowers, you know, the cards with the people's names on. They had live music, they have servers, the wedding planner, all different things. Anything you can think of, they have it, the florist, everything. So
Yeah.
we don't have to talk to all these different vendors or hire a wedding planner. They are the wedding planner, they handle everything, so it seemed like a pretty good option, right, Akina?
I was confident enough that the staff would be really good, like caring enough for your wedding, and very eager to make your wedding very special and memorable and going smoothly, you know?
Exactly, and they set up everything in there so well that I kind of trust their judgment as far as flowers and stuff. I'm sure you can choose what color you want, but like, I didn't feel like you just entered a bare room with, you know, you have to choose the exact color palette and everything you want. Like, the rooms themselves are extremely nice, and the flowers are pretty much just the icing on the cake. So I liked the way that was, because I know when we planned our wedding, we had to do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it was really difficult for us, actually.
So this seems a lot easier.
So if you're thinking of proposing in Japan or having a wedding in Japan,
then feel free to contact us at our email, japanquestionsanswered@gmail.com. We can give you any information you need. Otherwise, feel free to check out our previous videos about wedding-related topics. And thanks a lot for watching this video.